Welcome to the December installment of Community Focus, presented by the Friends of MCTV. I'm your host, John McPeak. Every month, the program features news about upcoming activities in the greater Midland area. This month, our guests include folks from the Midland Area Community Foundation, Children's Grief Center, Great Lakes Bay Region, Midland County Emergency Food Pantry Network, and the Salvation Army. Joining us today to lead off our program is Emily Schaefer, the Director of Development at the Midland Area Community Foundation, and her guest, Santa. Welcome to Community Focus. Emily, what are the big events that will be happening downtown this holiday season?
Thanks for having us, John. Yeah, it is the most wonderful time of year, and especially in downtown Midland. There's so much going on with the Santa House, and we've got the courthouse lighting coming up. The Jingle Bell Run is that first Thursday in December. It happens at 6:30. That's a fun one. 1 mile, not timed, and that's all down Main Street. The Northern Star train, the trackless train, Santa's train, runs down Main Street, does a nice loop, and that's free for everyone too. And so that's a nice event that runs in conjunction with the Santa House. And then we also have some really festive decorations on the downtown businesses. There's festive little snowmen that popped up, and the decorations are just wonderful. Holly Jolly Days is another downtown event that a lot of the businesses participate in. There's a lot of sales that happen. There's carriage rides. And those are the first 2 weekends of December. So there's so much going on in downtown Midland during the month of December.
Well, Emily, you mentioned the Santa House, and could you tell us about some of the activities there, or possibly your guest can tell us when Santa will be there to meet the children and what goes on?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, John, or Santa, tell us when you arrive. Refresh our memory.
Well, I believe it's always the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Might be December 3rd this year. Santa's going to land at the Tridge. I'm going to bring the reindeer in. It's going to be a night flight. We're going to hit the deck right around the bridge deck, right around 7 o'clock, and then we'll hook them up and then hook the reindeer up again, and we'll go up to the Santa House, and with that we're going to light the courthouse. Great, and it's a great thing. A lot of communities have a tree lighting ceremony. We have a courthouse lighting ceremony with a giant Christmas tree. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it was something that Grace Dow actually started up back in the 30s, in the 1930s, and it was a wonderful event, and they've kept it going, and now it marks the start of the Santa House actually opening. So Santa does a little countdown, we sing, and then he makes his way to the Santa House and starts greeting families right then and there.
So the courthouse lighting is on Tuesday, December 3rd, and when is Santa going to be in the Santa House?
Well, I have to light the courthouse, John. One thing at a time. We light the tree, the courthouse, then we get in the Santa House. I'll go right to work, and I'll listen to, we can start the negotiations right then, right after that.
And then you'll be in the Santa House every day through Christmas?
Every day we'll be in there. The way I look at it, we're in there every evening from 6 to 9, and then starting the second week, we'll be in there every afternoon from 1:30 to 4:30, and then so that's an additional time. Now weekends, I'll do the weekends separate. Weekends, there's 3 times Santa goes in because I have to take a little break, go see Mrs. Claus, feed the reindeer.
Sure.
I'm there from 9 to noon, 1:30 to 4:30, and then 6 to 9 on Saturday.
And busy
Sunday,
Saturday.
Saturday's afternoon, Sundays 1:30 to 4:30 again, and then the evening 6 to 9.
Emily, you mentioned a little bit about the history of the Santa House. Tell us a little bit more about that. When was the current Santa House built?
Yeah. So the current structure was built in 1987. Before, it was a temporary structure that had to be built and tore down every single year. And so now, since the 1987, it's a permanent structure, and because of community partners and donors, we're able to sustain it. We have endowment funds at the Community Foundation that support it, and have wonderful community partners with the county and the city that really help to make sure that it runs efficiently, and we're really grateful for that.
What did the children and their parents experience when they come inside, outside, and so on? What is the experience like? Besides meeting Santa, which
Right.
is
Well, the wonderful thing about the Santa house is it's free to the whole community. And so you don't have to have a certain paycheck or be of a certain income level to visit Santa. It's free for all. And so that's what's so wonderful about it and why we love it at the Community Foundation. And so we encourage parents to make sure that their kiddos are bundled up, because sometimes the lines do get a little long and they might have to wait outside. But there's plenty of things to look at outside, and then inside there's always Santa and his elves work on new things for the kiddos to see, and it's really a sight to see every year.
Will the reindeer stay there while you're there this holiday season?
Yeah,
Santa?
they come as often as they can. You know, they have things to do too, but
Sure.
they're usually there. This year I'm going to bring Blitzen and Comet.
Ah,
Yeah. You know how old Rudolph is this year, John?
I do not know.
He's 80, turned 80.
80 this
Yeah, he
year.
was born in 1939.
That's pretty old for a reindeer.
Nah, he's all right.
Is
He's
he
good. Yeah,
That's
he's
good. Well, now, how do you manage to meet all the children, Santa? What's the
Well, I get a lot of help.
all by yourself, or?
No. I have a lot of helpers in there, and we always need helpers. And you know, the Santa spirit is about helpers. Yeah, there is Santa Claus, but the Santa spirit is in everyone, and it comes in all different ways. So all these helpers that call the Midland Foundation and get signed up, that really helps us see more children, and it makes for a great visit.
So a person wants to volunteer to help Santa, wants to be an elf, maybe wants to help with the Northern Star. How do they do that, Emily?
They can call the Midland Area Community Foundation at 839-9661, and we can help them look at different slots that might be available for the train or the Santa house. And they can also visit our Facebook page too. Santa House has its own Facebook page, so Santa House Midland is the Facebook page. So.
Now, you mentioned that some of the things that the parents should keep in mind when they come is to wear seasonal clothing, warm clothing. Any other considerations? Should they bring cameras to take pictures with Santa?
Yeah, we encourage cameras. The more the merrier. We have elves that help take pictures, and then also we encourage families to come early, because it is a shorter season this year. The later they go, the more lines and longer lines are going to be, and we encourage people to come at least a half an hour, preferably 45 minutes before closing time, so that Santa can see everybody and see all the kiddos that come.
And the best way to get more information on the Santa House activities?
You can visit the Midland Foundation website, midlandfoundation.org, or give us a call at 839-9661.
Any other words, Santa?
Well, I want you to know that, you know, we mentioned waiting in line a few times. Well, that's part of what it's like at the North Pole, you know. To get in the warehouses, you know, there's usually a little waiting line out there, you know, the elves getting in, taking shifts. And the whole Santa house was designed around the North Pole, the real workshop. We copied a shop that we built in 1810 at the North Pole right here in Midland. So really everything in there is pretty much what it's actually like. You know, it's warm and cozy, it's a little crowded, it's a little messy, there's all good people, everybody's happy, and there's some treats and a lot of love and giving.
Well, Santa and Emily, thank you for joining us on Community Focus. Let us know what will be happening in downtown Midland during December, in particular the Santa House and Santa's presence there. Our next guest is from Children's Grief Center, Great Lakes Bay region, with information on their upcoming activities and events.